MICAH chapter 1 verse 10. So we finished with the first poem. Now we come to the second poem, which is about the judgment on impending judgment on Judah, verse 10 to 16. This one you need to refer to the map. So, these are all, we'll be looking at cities. These are all cities around Jerusalem. And they have got names that tell us of certain things, certain meanings. And now, God is using these cities to paint a picture of the judgments to come. And they will not escape, they will be punished. So, verse 10, tell it not in Gath, weep not at all. So, where is Gath? Can you find Gath? Here. Jerusalem is here. We are now in this Judah, the brown section. So, Jerusalem is here. This is Gath. So, tell it not in Gath. Now, what is the meaning of Gath? Gath means weep. Weep, cry. Weep town, you know. It is a town, a weeping town. Weep, cry. So, the next part of the verse is, weep not at all. Do not cry. So it's funny, right? The name of my town is called Cry. And when all these judgments come upon us, the punishment that will be inflicted upon us and so on, we should be crying. But God is saying, don't cry. Don't cry. Because you asked for it. It's all your own fault. You follow me? So cry for what? So, weep not at all. Next, in Beth Afra, roll yourself in the dust. In Beth Afra. Can you find Beth Afra? Now, some places, not only I cannot find, it's because these scholars cannot find, that's why I also cannot find. Historians can't, but it is definitely in this brown region. Okay? But more importantly, besides the geographical location, it means dust town. So the first one is weeping town. This is called the dust, D-U-S-T, dust, the dust town. You know, Beth means like house, like Bethlehem, house of bread. But there's the house of mercy. So this is house of dust town. Roll yourself in the dust. Roll yourself in the dust. This is a dust town, right? No, we don't do this. This is not becoming of us. No. Roll. Because it is a picture of mourning. Now that enemies are here and you are going to be punished, roll. Tell the other town, don't cry. Now tell this town, roll in the dust. Verse 11. Pass by in naked shame, you inhabitant of Shaphir. The inhabitant of Shaphir. Is there Shaphir? Is there Shaphir? Here. Okay. Shaphir is here. It is into Philistia, where the Philistines are, but it is Shaphir here in the south. Now, what is the meaning of Shaphir? Beautiful, 漂亮. Okay? You inhabitant of beautiful town, pass by in naked shame. Now, doesn't mean if you are naked, you are beautiful. But to pass by in naked shame, that means you are put in a very embarrassed situation. It is very shameful, not a sight to behold. It is not beautiful at all. Beauty is when you are dressed, you know, those people of that culture, they dress very colorfully and so on. You go to Israel today, so you see those, you go to all these tribes, they dress very colorfully. But to be removed from all these garments, you are not beautiful anymore. So pass by in naked shame, you inhabitant of beautiful town of Shafir. So it's the contrast. Tell one, don't cry. Tell the other, roll in the dust. Tell this one, you know, be in your non-beautiful state. The inhabitant of Zanan does not go out. The inhabitant of Zanan, what is Zanan?
Go out.
March. March now. Go march, you know, left, right, go march. So this, it means these people from this town, part of this town is like, hey, go and march out, go march out. But now is, don't go out, don't march. Previously it's march, go, you know, march out, go face the enemy, march, go do the work, do the task. But now they are not marching, they are hiding, they are staying put. It's the opposite. Now, Zanan, again, scholars can't find exactly where is Zanan. But take it that it is in the south. Because after years, when they are not rebuilt and so on, it's so difficult to find the location. So, anyway, they stop marching, though the town is called marching. Beth Ezel moans. Its place to stand is taken away from you. So Beth Ezel, house of taking away. Ezel means taking away. Ezel, can you find Ezel? House of Ezel. So, house of Ezel, house of taking away moans. Its place is stand to be taken away from you. Now, I do not know the exact meaning of Beth Ezel, except this, that it is house of taking away. But I'm very sure if you are staying in that house, you're staying in that town, maybe it means you taking things away from others, but definitely not for others to come and take away your town, right? But this is what is going to happen. Its place, that means your place to stand, wherever you stand in this town, is taken away from you. That is again bad news. Verse 12, for the inhabitant of Maroth, pine for good. Now, what is the meaning of Maroth? Is there Maroth? Maybe you all come nearer and see clearer. I can't see. Anyway, for the inhabitant of Maroth means bitterness. Bitterness. Pine for good. That means they are pinning their ears, they are waiting for good news. The town is called bitterness, so they are always waiting for good news. But instead of good news, but disaster came down from the Lord. What they get is not come down, disaster come down from the Lord. It means disaster came down from the north. These Assyrians were sent by God to them, the invaders. You follow me? So instead of getting good news, they are getting bad news. But disaster came down from the Lord to the gate of Jerusalem. Verse 13, O inhabitant of Lachish. Lachish is definitely where?
Have one there.
Down.
No, Judah top.
Just above.
Judah a little bit up.
Yes.
Wow. Sorry, I need my reading glasses. Still here, I can see. Okay, O inhabitant of Lachish, horse town. Horse. H-O-R-S-E. Horse. So, O inhabitant of Lachish, harness the chariot to the swift steeds. Harness means bind, means tie. the chariot. Chariot don't have engine one. Chariot need horse, right? So harness the chariot to the swift steeds. Steeds means horses. Horses. So bind the chariot to the horses. Why? Why? Because the town of Lachish was the beginning of sin. They brought the worship of the sun. They brought the worship of the sun, S-U-N, to the southern kingdom. So, horse town, you are to bind the chariot to the swift steeds. She was the beginning of sin to the daughter of Zion. Daughter of Zion. Zion is in the north or south? South. So, they introduced idolatry to the south, to Zion, daughter of Zion, to Judah. For the transgressions of Israel were found in you. For the transgressions of Israel were found in you. Means what? This is Lachish in the south, but they were influenced by the idolatry in the north, the transgression of Israel in the north. They were influenced by the north and they brought it down to the south. And from Lachish it went out. You follow me? For the transgression of Israel in the north were found in you. So you in the south, Lachish, you were found with this idolatry. And it started from you, the beginning of sin, you influenced and infected the southern kingdom. So you want this horses to run. This is a horse town, but now you bind it. You bind it, so it cannot run. Verse 14. Therefore, you shall give presents to Morosheth Gath. Of course, Morosheth Gath is here. That was the birthplace of MICAH. And by there, it means to give presents. It is to give tribute. Or we all know it as dowry. Why? Because they have been captured by the Assyrians. So when the foreigners invade and they catch the people into captivity, they will demand tribute. So therefore you shall present gifts to the enemies in Morosheth Gath. The houses of Azib shall be allied to the kings of Israel. Now what is the meaning of Azib? Lie. L-I-E. Tell lies, not the truth. The houses of Azib will be allied to the kings of Israel. Now, they are to be of help to the kings. They are supposed to be telling the truth, but they live with lies and of deception. So the houses of Azib shall be allied to the kings of Israel. But I like verse 15. So after all this, verses from 10 to 14, all the bad news, looks like this town is gone, this town is gone, this town, all the towns are gone. But then you see mercy in verse 15. I will yet bring an heir to you, O inhabitant of Marashah. Marashah, where is Marashah? Here. Okay. Here. Yet I will bring an heir to you, O inhabitant of Marashah. The glory of Israel shall come to Adullam. The glory of Israel shall come to Adullam. Now make a guess. Who is this heir and who is this glory of Israel? Jesus. Jesus, the Messiah. Now, we may not know much about Marashah, but Adullam, if you go and read Samuel, Adullam. Okay? If you go and read Samuel, go back, you can read 1 Samuel 22, verse 1, or 2 Samuel 23 verse 13. So 1 Samuel 22 verse 1 and 2 Samuel 23 verse 13. If I just mention it, you will know. When King David was on the run, he ran from Saul, right? Where did he go? He went to a cave. The cave was in Adullam. And through David, God spoke that through David, the line of David shall come the Messiah, pointing to Jesus. And then you read 2 Samuel 23 and so on, you will find again his family and his faithful men, they all wanted to go and see David. Where did they go? They assembled and they met up with David at Adullam. Why Adullam? Because that is where he was hiding, taking refuge. So, read again. I will yet bring an heir to you, O inhabitant of Marshall, to tell them you will bring an heir. The heir is Jesus. And to be more specific, the glory of Israel, Jesus, shall come to Adullam. Meanwhile, verse 16, back to bad news. Go and be mournful, as if you are in a spirit, in a state of brokenness, grief. Make yourself bald like mourning, and cut off your hair because of your precious children. Because of your precious children. Why put yourself in a state of mourning? You know, here botak. You know, because of your precious children. Because if you read from verse 10 until verse 14, you will know that judgment has come. All the young men, their precious children. I mean, don't say the Jews. Look at the Chinese, look at the Indian, look at all different tribes of the world. They put their stake in the future generation. That's why they propagate. You follow me? No? And if a nation is losing in numbers in terms of younger people, like Japan is an aging population, and Singapore will follow the same if we don't do anything about it, then where is the future? The day will come when the older ones will be weak and they retire, and then who is going to rise up to take their place, to work the land and support the economy? Nothing. So, for Israel is without the precious children who are slaughtered and killed and captured in the previous paragraphs, then you should be mourning. The country is in a bad state. So make yourself bald and cut off your hair because of your precious children who are no more. Enlarge your boldness like an eagle, for they shall go from you into captivity. So some will be killed, some run away, but many will be taken into captivity up in the north. And this came to pass because when Jeremiah, as we read just now, Jeremiah in chapter 26 verse 17 and 18, which he wrote some 100 over years ago when Babylon invaded Jerusalem. He was there to witness it, and he said this was what MICAH said 100 over years ago, and it came to pass. The good part is they were taken into captivity. If they were all slaughtered, and they all died, no more. Okay, so that is chapter 1. All the pronouncement against the northern kingdom, and also the southern kingdom, and it's all because of their sin against God.